Hello. So this weekend we will talk about pi. Not Raspberry Pi, but pi. Pi, the number that has fascinated mathematicians throughout the generations. And some people, they get fascinated on how to calculate pi and how many digits you can go from 100 to 1 million to 2 million to hundreds of millions after the decimal. So how can we calculate pi now in 2023 with an easy step? The easiest solution is to go to the wolf of mathematics, and it is Wolfram Alpha. Wolfram Alpha can give you the solution for all your mathematical needs. Only you have to go into the search like Google and put everything, and it will solve it for you with no fuss. So here, for example, I put 13 minutes to second and it gives me the answer. So for example, if I want to calculate, for example, 2 to the power 90, which is a number of around 28 digits. So I press enter and give me the number. This is the 28 digits that it can solve. For me, if I now want to calculate pi, all I have to do is pi, for example, 1000 decimal digits. So if I want to calculate pi for 1000 decimal digits after the point, this means it will be 3.14159265535, etc. to the 1000 digit after the decimal. So I press enter and that's it. These are all 1000 digits. For the last one, if you want to be accurate, you take the 1001 digit because sometimes you'll have some truncation. But I think Wolfram doesn't have this problem, so you don't have a problem with this 9. But look how easy it is to calculate a very tedious effort in order to get this 1000 digit. So is there in Linux an application or a program or a software or maybe coding in order to get this pi? Luckily there is, and it is called BC. So for example, if I put man BC, it tells it is an arbitrary precision calculator language, which means it is basically a calculator but with advanced calculation, because the calculator, let's say, it can get 10 digits after the point. BC can get many other things, and also you can make programming inside it. And if you notice here, there is options, and if you got the -L, you get the math library, which gives the sine, cosine, and all of this, the stuff that are involved in the process. So to cut the story short, if I want to calculate it, let me quit here. I go BC minus L, and I will get inside the shell of BC. Let's say I want to calculate 2 to the power 90. I directly get it without going into any web browser, without anything. Let's say I want to go to 2 to the power 900. Also it gets me, and of course 900 is around 271 digits. So it directly calculated it without any fuss. For pi, you have to use the following for pi. We first have to put the scale for how many digits, and the scale is, let's say it is 1000. So it is 1000 digits after the decimal. And to calculate pi is not included in this language, BC, in this calculator language. You have to have some manipulation or take a different algorithm to calculate it. And the algorithm is the one that is available inside BC is the arctangent. And if you notice in mathematics, the arc whose tangent is 1 is 45 degrees, or pi over 4, which is in radians pi over 4. So pi over 4 times 4 gives pi. So this is an easy way to calculate pi, and then you put it as a scale of 1000 and it gives you the precision. So if I press enter, I will get pi, and if you notice here, we'll get here the same thing as before, but of course the last one, we might have a problem with the last one. So if you want, we can calculate the 1001 in order, or the 1002 in order to get the accurate digit in the end. So here, for example, I'll put 1002, and I will get that it is 989, not 988. So we get the accuracy that we want directly without any browser, just with a simple application BC of less than 100 kilobytes size. Imagine. The story does not end here. The story began with Archimedes, or maybe before, who discovered pi and approximated as 22/7. Or maybe the Bible, when I think there is some passage which specified or just gave a hint that pi is around 3. Or the other engineers or the mathematicians, the big mathematicians that started learning about pi and getting more and more digits after the point, and they spent most of their time in this effort. They could understand the numbers inside pi, each and every one, better than us. What we learned in pi is just plug a number and get the result, nothing more. Happy weekend.